All right. So welcome everyone. But first of all, can you guys hear me clearly? Can hear my voice properly? Uh, all right. Okay. So welcome everybody. Welcome to the last session of our KERIS virtual sharing series, securing scholarships. So how was the previous 2 days? Day one, day two. Were they quite helpful, informative? Hmm? Seeing a few reactions there. All right. Good to know. Okay, so ECRIS is also known as a Kelantan Education Resource Initiative for Students. It is a student-led organization that aims to help students from all backgrounds, mainly from Kelantan, but non-Kelantan are also as welcome lah. In fact, I'm also not a Kelantan student. I'm actually from Johor, so I'm a bit of an imposter here lah. All right, so at KERIS, we're all about making sure students get access to the right information, guidance, and support. Tonight, we're going to dive into one of the most frequently asked questions by students after SPM. How do I get a scholarship? But before I start, I haven't introduced myself first. My name is Muhammad Taufik Lim. You guys can call me Taufik. I'm a YTP Mara scholar, currently studying my foundation course at University Malaysia Pahang Al Sultan Abdullah, UMPSA. I'll be pursuing a dual degree program nanti in mechanical engineering dekat Pekan UMPSA and vehicle engineering at Beijing Jiao Tong University, China. I'm part of the publicity committee at KERIS, and tonight I will be your moderator. Tonight, we're very grateful today to be joined by four esteemed scholars who successfully secured their scholarships. All right. They will be sharing you all the tips and tricks that you guys need to get their scholarships and how also you can increase your chances in securing one. Unfor- but unfortunately, one of our speakers, Nazrul, who our Yayasan Khazanah scholar, will be coming in a little bit late because he has a base initiative program to complete. But that's fine. He will join and become the last speaker for tonight. Also, make sure you guys stay because at the end of the sharing session, there will be a Q&A, questions and answer session. So feel free to ask our scholars any questions. So without further ado, let us welcome our first speaker, Adriana binti Kamarudin. She is currently a YTP Mara scholar who is furthering her studies dekat AY Women's University in Seoul, South Korea. She's part of the YTP Mara programs yang buat overseas program dekat other countries. So I'm also actually part of the overseas program. But today, Adriana, she's already furthering her studies in Seoul, South Korea. So we're very excited to listen from her. Are you here, Adriana?
Yes.
All right. So let us hear from her today, right? So technical can share the slides.
Okay,
All right.
so
The floor
hello
is yours,
everyone.
Adriana.
Okay, so firstly, I want to apologize because I cannot open my camera because of the technical issues. So hello and assalamualaikum everyone. So today I would like to give you a slightly briefing about YTP Mara scholarship. So next. Okay, so before I start, I would like to introduce myself. So my name is Adriana binti Kamarudin, and you can call me Nana. And I am one of the YTP Mara Scholar program. So after graduating high school, I'm studying Foundation of Science and Technology for Korea University in KL MIIT. And currently I'm doing a degree in EY University Seoul, majoring in Computer Science and Engineering. And this is my contact. So next. Okay, so what is YTP Mara? So I know that this scholarship is like quite common among SPM students itself, but I want to like give a slightly briefing about it. So YTP is stand for Young Talent Development Program. So usually this scholarship apply for the SPM leavers, and then for the requirement, you have to get an SPM examination result like a minimum of 7 A's and minimum A minus obtained. So in this slide, I didn't give a specific requirement for you guys, which subject to get within 7 A's, because every program in the YTP itself is like different. So you can check the program offer and like a requirement itself in the Mara punya website. Okay, so next. And then for the application process, it's like quite simple because firstly, you can apply for the online application via Mara punya website. And then usually YTP punya scholarship ni, dia akan buka time on the day of the SPM result itself. And second is psychometric test. So psychometric test ni is like a personality test. You don't have to be worried because the test is online. So before you submit for the online application untuk YTP, you have to sit for the psychometric test. And then after sit for the psychometric test, barulah boleh submit punya online application untuk Mara, untuk YTP Mara tu. Okay, so after you submit the application, the successful application will be notified via SMS or like email untuk sit for interview ataupun you guys can check the result via Mara punya website. Usually macam kalau untuk program overseas je, dia akan offer for the interview. But kalau untuk in country, dia tak akan tawarkan interview. So you just have to wait until you get the result itself. So next. Okay, so this is the flow. So in this slide, I'm sharing you like photos when I get an offer for interview. So look at that green button. So when you click the green button, they will notify you like the date and also the place where the interview will be begin. And also when you success for the interview, you get the result via email. So next. Okay, so in my slide, I want to give you a slightly tips for my interview. So usually interview have two parts, individual and also group assessment. So firstly, have to be confident, speak confidently when you enter the interviewer punya room. And also don't forget to sharpen your communication skills in Bahasa Melayu and English because usually interviewer will ask you question in two language, which is Bahasa Melayu and English. And also there is also like a question about current issues and also problem solving questions like how do you cope with your stress, what did you do when you get a low result, how you like solve that problem itself. And then second part.
Hi, can I ask something? What did you get for the questions? What for the current issues? If you'd
Okay,
like to share.
for the yes, sure. So for the current issues, usually I get a question about the climate issues, which is pemanasan global. So they ask me to describe the issue itself. So when you describe the issue, the interviewer will ask back to ensure that you answer your question confidently. So don't worry, you just have to speak out loud and also like be confident in your answer. And then for the group assessment, make sure you engage with your group members. Okay, so for the group assessment, usually you will be given like a time untuk discuss with your teammates. So make sure at that time you macam active dekat dalam group so that interviewer will notice you macam mana you bercakap and also how you create a discussion with your teammate itself. Okay. So next. Okay, so for the scholarship cover, firstly, the YTP Mara scholarship cover tuition fees. So for the preparation program in Malaysia and also the degree program in the overseas country. Second is living allowance like food, accommodation, and others too. And third is other expenses like education fees like exam. But actually, this scholarship cover is, I'm not really sure because it's slightly different for each of the program. Not all YTP program that is offered is all the same for the scholarship cover. So you just have to tag like doing research more about the program that you want to apply for the scholarship itself. Okay, so next. Okay, so what made my application stage stand out? So firstly, I do think that it is confident because during my interview, actually, the question that I get is really spontan question, and I didn't like expect that question itself. So I think you just have to be confident, speak your opinion, and also don't be quiet during the interview. For example, like during my interview, I just expect that my question would be introduce about yourself, why you choose that major. But actually, no, there is no question like that. But they want me to promote the product. I mean, like during interview, like they will give you like a product or like things so that you promote the product itself, and also like a variety of questions. And the answer for that question, you have to think out of the box and variety of opinion. You just have to give it. Okay, so and then you have to be engaged with teammates, like be spoke with your teammate, discuss with your teammate. Make sure you just speak your opinion, speak your knowledge about that things. So next. Okay, so what is other scholarship that I applied? So firstly, I applied for the ZPA. Second is I applied for PSP, which is Petronas Punya Scholarship. And third is I applied for CIMB Asian Scholarship. But for this scholarship, I just got into ZPA, but I refused to accept because I didn't want that course offered. Next. Okay, so advice for aspiring viewers. Okay, so lastly, my advice is um, don't forget to do a lot of research before applying for the course after high school, because it is really important to know your interests, to know what you really like to do after doing high school, and also like do a lot of research about scholarship that you want to apply. Because okay, let's say that you think that the scholarship covers um transportation too, but actually that scholarship is not covered for the transportation. So it will be like you will be regret about it. So don't forget to do a lot of research about it. And also like if you want to apply for the scholarship that require a new language that you have to learn, so make sure you really like that language itself, like you have that interest to learn the language, because it's actually quite hard to learn a new language. And during degree, maybe you didn't know that not all English are applied during study, but also uh, another language too. Okay,
So
so
you
I
can
think
introduce, so you can speak Korean fluently dekat Korea sana. Do you use do you use Korean to learn ke in this lectures dekat sana?
yeah, it depends. Like in the
Oh,
lectures, there are course in Korean, and also there are course in English. So
so
if the course in Korean, the lecture is in Korean.
wow, because
Yeah.
you have to learn a whole new language just to absorb all the information. So I think that might be the most challenging part lah. For if you don't know a new language or you lack any language skills, I think that's one of the most admirable and commendable things to do lah, to learn the
Yeah.
language. Can you actually introduce yourself in Korean? Boleh ke? Like
Okay.
bagi dia dengar.
So I will try it. 안녕하세요. 저는 아드리아나이라고 합니다. 지금은 이화대학교 입학했고, 그리고 음, 잘 부탁드립니다. 감사합니다.
Wow, it sounds so nice. Did it take you a long time to master the speaking language or the writing language? Did it take you
Um,
a while?
Actually, I just learned it for 1 year during my preparation program, and the rest is I just learned it in Korea.
It's not just dekat kelas je kan kita belajar Korean. It's also like outdoor social settings, communicating with people. Tu pun,
Yes, true.
all right, that's very good to know. Is that all from you, Adriana? You have anything else to say?
Yes, I think that's all.
All right. Okay. So thank you very much, Adriana, for the talk for YTP Mara. As a YTP Mara scholar myself, I also agree because of her experiences. I can relate to them juga lah. Because when I was in the interview, I was actually asked a lot of questions that even like the normal scholarship questions that people expect pun memang Mara won't really ask. And fun fact, it's like a speaking assessment tau. Because when they come into the interview bilik, the questions are like in an envelope tau. So the questions memang they're not leaked to anyone. Memang they're given to the people interviews on the spot, just so that they can read the interview questions and ask the students lah. And fun fact, for my group topic, it was actually something that I was quite lucky, but if you don't know, modern current issues is a little bit hard to know lah. Actually, my topic is about why Indonesia's capital is moving to Borneo. So I was like, huh? Like, I can see all my other teammates, they were so surprised because we didn't learn like this whether in like sejarah or we didn't learn these things in sejarah about why they're moving the capital because Jakarta is currently sinking. So I was lucky to be there to help share and brainstorm ideas lah. So it's really important, especially if you want to apply for YTP Mara, to know about modern and current events because they will ask the least expected questions. Don't expect something very general. Expect the unexpected, as I would like to say. All right. Now, thank you very much, Adriana. I would like to welcome our second speaker, Iman Haiqal. He is currently a Bank Negara Malaysia scholar, which is also studying at College Yayasan UEM. So without further ado, I'll pass the session to Iman.
Thank you, Taufik. You guys hear?
Yeah, we can hear you. Maybe a little bit closer to the mic. Is that okay?
I have a bit of connection problem.
No worries.
Okay. So, hello everyone. So, like tonight, I'm gonna tell you guys about how to secure the Bank Negara Malaysia Hijau Scholarship. So, without further ado, let's start with a little bit of introduction about myself. Next slide. Okay. So, my name is Iman Haiqal bin Hidayat. You can just call me Iman. I'm 19 years old, born in KL, but I've been living in Pahang for the most of my life. I am an MR Samtun Abdul Razak alumni, and I'm currently, as you know, a Bank Negara Malaysia Hijau scholar studying A levels in KYUEM. My intended course is economics, and I take mathematics, further mathematics, economics, and history as my A level subject. Next slide. Okay. So here are the requirements before you apply for the Bank Negara Malaysia scholarship. This is basically you must have excellent examination result, a minimum of 8 A's consisting of A and A plus only obtained for SPM examinations. But if it was me, I wouldn't let this high minimum result discourage you from applying because the result above this requirement will not affect your chances of securing the scholarship. That said, say a 10A plus student and a 5A plus, 3A, 1C plus student, they both can apply and they both have an equal chance of securing the scholarship. So even if you think that your examination result are not that great, if it passes the requirement, then you are very much encouraged to apply. Okay. And the second one is not exceeding 19 years of age on 1st July of 2025. Okay. Next slide. Okay. So as for the application process, uh, the first thing you have to do is, well, just like any other scholarship, you fill out an online form entailing necessary details. And regarding the details, you don't really have to worry about it, since you can just fill it as you go through the application process. And you will be required to submit supporting documents only if you pass the application stage. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay. As for the application essay, it's a 350-word essay about yourself, and mine was explain why Bank Negara Malaysia would be your choice of scholarship and how your chosen field of study will be beneficial to you and Bank Negara Malaysia. Please also explain a significant personal experience which shaped who you are as a person. Okay. So next slide. Okay. So online assessment. Well, you go through 5 stages of online assessments. The first one is Mathematics and English, CAT. This stands for Cognitive Ability Test. And you have to answer it while inside a Google Meet with your camera and microphone on. This is to prevent cheating, basically. Okay. The second online assessment is a psychometric cognitive ability test. It's just a personality assessment. The third one is a logic general assessment. I can't really remember what it is, to be honest, but there's quite a lot of it on the internet. So if you wish to try it out by yourself, you can just search up logic general assessment. And this goes the same for the fourth assessment, which is the factors plus assessment. And if you pass each of these assessment, your final assessment will be in the form of a video. You are required to submit a 2-minute video about a topic onto YouTube. The topic changes each year, but my year, it was about a movie or a book that has had a significant impact on me. So okay, next slide. Okay, so the final stage assessment. Setting, it's a 2 days, 1 night assessment, and you'll be offered an overnight stay free of charge at Lanai Kijang, which is basically Bank Negara Malaysia's own hotel. And then an assessment session the next day at Khazanah Kijang, which is the bank's training and education facility. It's 2 days, 1 night.
Khazanah Kijang and Lanai Kijang is the name of the place, right?
Lanai Kijang is the name of the hotel which we stayed during the assessment. Yeah.
So Bank Negara Malaysia has a hotel lah kiranya.
Yeah.
Is it dekat Kuala Lumpur, like the Wilayah punya tempat next to the BNM Bank Negara?
Yeah.
Alright.
Dekat mana?
Dia sebelah tu kan, near the bangunan Bank Negara Malaysia punya headquarters, is it?
Yeah.
Yang dekat dengan pasar seni. Right.
Right. Generally surrounding the area lah.
Alright, thank you. Alright, continue.
So Khazanah Kijang, which is Bank Negara's own conference, training and education center, I would say sometimes. It's basically a multi-purpose facility for bank's own purposes. So it's 2 days, 1 night. The first day is just checking in and getting to know your group mates and facilitators. You will share room with another final stage applicant, and you will be placed in a group of 8 and above for your group assessments. Okay, so group assessments is in the morning of B2.
Right, one person say, wow, you have to stay overnight only for an assessment, which I can agree is a bit absurd, but it just shows how strict because Bank Negara is, I think, they're very selective for their students, right? So can you explain why they do this overnight thing? Like,
I would say like Bank Negara, it requires an extensive evaluation process for the applicants, and also it's to assess how the applicants would I would say would present themselves in different situations, because we were basically assessed from day 2 onwards, and we were basically assessed from the morning. So I thought that is just their way of like showing us how they would operate, since this has been like their tradition for years. Oh, I'm curious on how many scholars do BNM accept. They can accept up to 40 final stage applicants, but for my year, we have 25 total people who succeeded in the application process. For the essay, do you write it by yourself or do you use the touch of ChatGPT? Oh my God. Can I answer these questions at the end of
Yeah,
my...
you can answer a few of these questions, the Q&A. Just habiskan
Alright.
the present first, yeah?
Sorry guys, in the meanwhile, you can just type in your questions.
It's all right,
Sorry.
carry on.
Okay, so group assessment in the morning of day 2, there will be one case study and one creativity-based assessment. Like I said, the assessment topics, they change each year, and I can't really predict what it is. But as for the case study assessment,
Sorry.
what I can say about it is that it's fictional. Is that if for my year, it was a completely fictional situation in a completely fictional country, and we have to evaluate and assess the problems that arose in that country and how to solve it. As for the creativity-based assessment, it just involves some form of handicraft work, but I wouldn't say it's that creativity inclined. It's a balance of both creativity and logic assessment. Okay. It's done in group 6 and above. And individual assessment, it is done on the afternoon of the second day and by a panel of 3 to 4. And I would say that individual assessment for me, it can take quite long. Mine was up to 40 minutes. Questions that they ask during the individual assessment is mostly regarding you as a person, your life experiences, your extracurricular achievements, why you wanted this scholarship, and how you can contribute to Bank Negara Malaysia. In my case, surprisingly, I did not get asked any questions regarding the current global issues.
Not even one question.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So that's quite
Yeah, not
surprising.
even one question. Yeah, I was
So-
surprised as well, because I did do quite an extensive research last night just to keep up with what's been happening at that moment. Okay, so I ended up getting an offer letter for the scholarship 3 weeks later. Next slide. Next slide, please. Okay, so sorry, the questions I will answer I'll be answering the questions once my session ends. So don't worry.
Yeah,
Okay,
maybe
so
after you finish presenting, you can answer 1 or 2 questions, yeah?
So the scholarship coverage, fees, registration, IELTS. IELTS is basically an English examination conducted by the United Kingdoms to assess whether an international applicant to their universities are coherent enough in English. Okay. So examination fees, tuition fees, accommodation fees, utilities, university transport, university application, and transport waivers. So as for our tuition, our allowances, sorry, it's not tuition now, it's allowances. A bit of typo there. So I get upfront allowance, I get a monthly allowance, I get gadget allowance, book allowance, and sports equipment allowances. And while the exact amount cannot be disclosed under Bank Negara's own terms and conditions, I'd say it's more than enough for me to get by and survive comfortably in KYU. Okay, so let's start. Scholarship commitment and requirement. So commitment is 1 year of study to 2 years of working at the bank. Uh, so so like I'm studying 2 years in Malaysia for my A levels examinations, and hopefully 3 years later in the UK for my degree. So that amounts up to 5 years of study and 10 years of working at the bank. And repayment of the full scholarship amount would be required should I refuse to serve by the end of my studies.
Do you
And
have
the
any
requirement,
plan on where to study dekat the UK? Any notable universities you're trying to target?
uh, there is a list under which universities I can apply to, but hopefully I'm planning to further my studies at University College of London.
Oh, UCL is a very well-known university in London. All right.
So as for my scholarship requirements, uh, the scholarship program will be extended to overseas studies should the scholars meet this requirement. First, they must pass their A levels exam with a minimum of 3 A's. And second, they must be offered a placement at one of the universities in Bank Negara's Malaysia accepted university list. I can't exactly disclose the university list since it changes each year. So like the university that are allowed for me to apply this year might not be the same for next year. And moreover, the university list is available on Bank Negara Malaysia's own website, so you can check it out. Okay, next slide. Okay, so group assessment. What to do? Okay, so first, be a team player. Cooperate, be open to different perspectives, and be considerate to your group mates. This is to say, have tolerance with each other. Okay. Next up, fulfill your role. A good team should be able to delegate their tasks properly and help others when needed. And finally, I would say that this is something that you should really avoid when in group assessments. Generally, not just that. Don't try to steal this. Don't try to steal the spotlight. Let everyone have their moments. Mutual understanding and tolerance goes a long way. And this also shows that you care about other people, and it's a good value to generally have when undergoing assessments. Okay. Next slide. Okay. So what made my entire application stage stand out? First, I would say authenticity. Um, the stories that I wrote in my essay and I told in my interviews were from my own past experiences, and they're just not fabricated or like made up to impress the interviewers. Also, I added value to my application essays and interviews, stories, not just by talking about the experiences themselves, but also what I learned from that experience and how that experience shaped parts of who I am today. Next up, passion. Like some people, they adopt fake personality to impress the interviewers, but I wouldn't recommend this because sometimes they it just end up falling apart midway through the interview. You should always pick what interests you the most and what makes you more interesting as a person. And also for Bank Negara specifically, there is no set time for the interview. So just answer your question and try to speak as much as possible so that the interviews can get to know you on a deeper level and assess you better. So, one thing that I would just like to add is that a common experience that all of us bank scholars had is that we each had to tell a personal story of ours, and we all had long interview sessions, which is usually more than 30 minutes lah. But I would say that it's not a bad thing for us to have long interview sessions since the longer it goes on, the more flow and more affinity I would say you would have with the interviewers. And that just makes you more interesting and more likely to succeed in the interview. Okay. So next is calm and composure. No. Previous slide. Okay. So next is be calm and composed. Just take your time and think carefully before answering question. The interviewers can wait. And also don't be shy to ask them to repeat their questions. Be concise with your answers. Complete it with explanations and reasons, but don't drag on. If you think you're done speaking,
Iman,
just
is it possible you can speed up a little bit of the talk because we're running out a little bit of time for the next speaker
okay.
to like. Thank you.
All right. So like next up, just prepare this. Study the scholarship assessment from resources online. Resources online. For example, KERIS has their own resources, and then there's Space, and then there's Mosaic scholarship initiatives. And have a set of talking points for possible questions, but don't memorize scripts. Whatever comes out of your mouth should be and feel natural. Okay, so next slide. This is some other scholarships I applied for. I secured IB assorted sciences, which is Science Ikhtisas, pre-USA, for YTP Mara, but I later withdrew. And Khazanah Global, PNB Global, and GPA JQE. So next up. Okay, so why bank? So it secures my future employment with a reputable institution, which is Bank Negara Malaysia itself. And it places me in a more competitive environment, which is KYUM studies and curricular heavy environment. Prestige, because there's more opportunities and a larger network amongst previous bank scholars. I would say we form a close family bonds between fellow scholars because there's a very small amount of scholars compared to other scholarship bodies. And also, this is special for bank. We are able to choose between 6 different colleges. So we have KYUEM, College Tunku Jaafar, Nexus International School, Sunway College, Taylor's College, and Epsom College. Also, a lucrative allowance. Okay.
So what
next up.
made you choose KYUM? If you can ask, why did you choose KYUM?
Okay. So, why did I not choose the other option? So Nexus International School, they offer IB. I don't want to take IB. No disrespect to IB students.
All right,
Okay.
no disrespect. All right.
Okay, Epsom College. I am not that much educated about Epsom College environment, so I wouldn't take the risk. Taylor's College and Sunway College, they are an off-boarding college, which means that I have to buy my own food. KY and KTJ, they provide food, so I'd rather go for them. Which leaves basically KY and KTJ. So why not KTJ? First, I just believe that KY has a more scholar-centric environment. There's a lot of scholars here. There's bank scholars, PNB scholars, YK scholars, Petronas scholars, JPA, PPN scholars, and it just places me with people who are which I can relate to more than those in KTJ. And also, KTJ system is structured more, I would say, more school-like. So you wear uniforms, you have bedtimes, and KYUM has a more independent environment, but I wouldn't say it's that independent. So still, there's some sort of freedom to our activities more than what we have in KTJ, but
So
not too freedom.
but does that mean that
Hmm?
different colleges offer different programs lah? You could say to sambung
Uh,
to the UK, US, like that.
no. It's only Nexus. Nexus offer IB. Nexus International School. They offer IB, but KY, KTJ, Taylor's, Sunway, and Epsom, they all offer A levels.
Oh, so it's not just one college that offers IB.
Yep.
All right, thank you. Okay.
Okay. So last advice to expand members. So I would say, if you dream for it, and if you can handle the burden and the responsibilities that you will have once you get it, then just go for it. And secondly, this is more than one advice, but secondly, don't be intimidated. Just apply for everything. What's meant for you will find its way to you. Okay, so next slide. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Iman, for the talk about Bank Negara Malaysia. I'm actually hoping that you get good marks and hope you get to study at UCL because
Thank you.
I also heard UCL is a very nice location as well lah, kan? Because it's in the middle of London and stuff.
Yeah.
So you will get not only the student life but the international vibes that you get to it. So yeah, I also agree with Iman because you also need to stand out more, but it's also important to not take the spotlight because it shows that if you take the spotlight, you're not giving others to talk or a chance to express themselves, which can be a little bit of a bad thing actually. So all right, I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Iman. Now we're
Welcome.
gonna
Thank you.
move. Thank you. So now we're going to move on to our third scholar, Nurzafira Muhammad Zailan. She is a Yayasan Tenaga Nasional Prime Scholar. Now she's currently studying in University Tenaga Nasional, Uniten. Just to ask, Zafira, are you studying in the campus dekat Cyberjaya or dekat Muazzam Shah?
I'm currently studying in Putrajaya campus.
Oh, is it Putrajaya or Cyberjaya?
Putrajaya.
Oh, it's in Putrajaya. All right. Sorry, my apologies. Okay, so without wasting any time, I'll pass the session to Zafira.
Okay, Assalamualaikum to everyone. So for today, I will be talking about TNB Prime Scholarship. Okay, so first and foremost, I would like to apologize because I'm having sore throat right now and fever. So um so I wish I will try my best to deliver everything as clear as I could. But if you guys have any problems, you can just say it here and I will repeat my talk. Okay, so next slide. A little bit about myself. My name is Nurzafira binti Muhammad Zailan. I went to Tunku Kosha College back then in high school. Currently, I am studying Foundation in Engineering and I will be pursuing Bachelor of Electrical Power Engineering in July. And then I am studying in University Tenaga Nasional under the scholarship, the TNB Prime Scholarship. That's just all about myself. Next slide. So basically, what is YTN? I am sure you all of you are very familiar about TMB, right? Because it's our electrical supplier at our homes. So basically, YTN is the subdivision of that company, TMB. It is a company where they provide financial aid and scholarships for students both locally and abroad. For YTN, there are a lots of scholarship they offer actually. There are Prime Scholarship, Shine, and also My Brighter Future. But for today, I only will be talking about the Prime Scholarship, mainly for the local program. So for the requirements, it's not actually really high pun. Only minimum A for, there are three courses that they actually offer, which is engineering, computer science, and accounting. For engineering and computer science students, they will actually pursue their studies at Unitan Putrajaya campus, while accounting at the Unitan Pahang campus for their foundation. Only minimum A for English and mathematics for those three courses, and for other courses, only A minus required for you to apply. So I don't have anything more to elaborate about the requirements, because if you pass the requirement, then you may apply for this scholarship. That's just all. Next slide. Okay, so firstly, the flow of the application process. You need to apply for the scholarship. Obviously, you just need to search up Yayasan Tenaga Nasional at Google, and then it will appear Yayasan Tenaga Nasional, and you got to register your account and log in. After you log in, it will appear like the one picture in the left picture in this slide, and you have to fill in all of the informations in the circle, in this red circle. You guys can see, right? Uh, so after you have applied, that's just all actually. Because for YTN, fun fact, YTN is the fastest scholarship that I applied actually, because there are no essays that required, there are no quizzes. They just want your documents and your achievements actually. And then after you submit your application, um, you will be shortlisted, as shown in the right picture. So in the website, they showed the details of the interview session, which is the program you are offered, the date, time, and also the location. Can you go to the next slide? About the interview preparation, they actually want you to, there is a video you need to upload after you have got shortlisted. So the video is a very simple video about yourself. You tell them about your family, your school activities, and why you apply and deserve this scholarship. So basically, for my video, I make a really simple video. It's just a video of me.
Bye-bye.
Sorry.
Mm,
Okay.
all right. Okay. Continue.
It's just a video of me talking in front of my phone about what they want in the video. But it really depends on your creativity. Some of my friends actually did like transitions video, but it really doesn't matter about your creativity actually. It's all about the contents of what you say, why you think you deserve, and why did you apply for the scholarship itself. So for the interview, they asked us to bring some documents and be sure to wear something formal lah during the interview session. So for some tips, I believe that everyone should be prepared for the scholarship interview. Um, for me, I asked my friends also what did the interviewer actually ask them for this for the interview. So I believe what you should do some research for the interview session. I actually did some research on what are the contributions I can give to TNB, because you need to know at least some things about the company that will give you the scholarship. And then you also need to know more about what you are applying for. For me, I applied for electrical power engineering, right? So I need to know what are the work courses, what are the job scopes. Those are the things that you need to know at least a little bit about, so that you can show to the interviewer that you actually know what you are going to study. So next slide. Okay, the interview session was actually really fun because I was actually the first interviewer of the day. Because I came really early. For the interview, you don't have to impress them, but you have to leave some good first impression for the interviewer. So as for me, I came 15 minutes early before the interview session, and turns out I became the first one to got interviewed. And it was really fun because during the interview they are not really like strict when actually they don't active interviewers actually don't want to try to scare you. They just want to uh get to know you better. So I believe that you just need to say the things in your mind, and that's just all actually. Wear something proper and put a smile on your face and get to know other people. For the next slide. And then that's it. My application was successful. And I believe that you guys also can agree that the application was not hard. It's just you just apply and you go for the interview session. There's no second interview session or such. There's just one interview session. There's no quiz. There's no online assessment. That's just all. And
So,
then
how did you get to know you got the scholarship? How were you notified? Through email or text?
through message. They send
Oh,
you message.
it's a message. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Can I go to the next slide? Okay. So about what the scholarship cover, basically, Yayasan Tenaga Nasional, if you are under the scholarship, you will be bonded with TMB. You will be working for TMB for 7 years after your studies. if they TMB offer you a work within 6 months of ending your studies. So they also cover your tuition fees, every tuition fees. If you're going for the abroad, not of local pun, diorang akan cover your tuition fees, book and stationeries are annually, laptop allowance, monthly allowance, and also transport costs if you're from Sabah and Sarawak. Um, so why they actually chose me? First thing first, I believe that they chose me because of my confidence level. Um, I am actually a type of person that is not afraid to say what I actually think, and I'm not afraid to answer any of their questions. So I believe that um, actually during the interview session, it was really like uncasual talks with them. I always don't want the interview session to be something really serious. So what I tend to do is I imagine that they are actually my friends and I talk to them as if I was talking to my friends. So this way I can loosen up the pressure, the nervous lah, basically. So because I believe that all of the interviewer are actually not trying to scare you. They just want to know you better and they just want to know how you actually communicate to other people. So I just put a smile on my face and you know people say fake it till you make it. So it's just the matter of how you actually present yourself to them and how you talk, how you actually uh convince them that you actually want the scholarship. Next is about my personality. I believe that I am a type of person that is really easygoing and communicative. I communicate really well. I actually try to make conversations with them. I remember that one time the interviewer told me to run because they already have uh our our certificates, right? And back then in high school, I was an athlete, but they actually did not believe that I actually am a long distance athlete. So they told me to run in the room, and I actually am not
They had to run
afraid.
in the room
I actually ran in the room. So I believe
just
that
to prove that you're an athlete. So they just told you
yeah,
to
I
run.
actually ran in the.
Is it like a
I
long
proved
room?
them. No, it's a small room, but I'm not afraid. I just do what they actually told me to do.
Um, you just need to show that you're chill with them also lah. So they just like
Yeah,
want
it
to
makes
joke
it
around as well.
a little bit more fun, I believe.
That's very good to know. All right, continue.
Okay, for the third one is about my achievements. I believe alongside my academics, I am also an athlete back then. So I excel in sports and co-curricular activities, but that's just the bonus point. One thing I don't emphasize enough is about how I show that I am passionate about the scholarship. Uh, Actually, it doesn't matter if you actually don't want to apply for this scholarship. Maybe your parents told you to apply for this scholarship, can? But actually, you have to, in front of the interviewer, they are actually the panels of person and the person who will be giving you the scholarship. So in front of them, you should show them that you actually really want the scholarship. Show them that you are really interested and you are really show them that you really deserve the scholarship lah. Say something that will make them remember you and leave an impression for them so that they will remember you after you have leave the room after the interview session. So I really did do lots of research and I get to know more deeper about my job scopes of electrical power engineers and how do I actually become an engineer and what I can contribute for Yayasan Tenaga Nasional and TNB in the future. So that's all. Um, Other scholarships that I applied is actually PSP, Petronas scholarship, JPA, and also YTP Mara. I actually got the GPA and YTP Mara, but actually back then why I go for Yayasan Tenaga Nasional is obviously because YTP Mara and GPA are like loans.
Convertible loans. That's what
Yeah,
it's called.
convertible loans. Yeah, that is the main reason actually. But for it's also because of the course I applied. For GP and YTP Mara, I actually applied for medicine because I actually wanted to be a doctor back then. But before I choose the scholarship that I want to apply, I actually reflect back to my own personal qualities. I believe I'm not really good at memorizing, but I'm good at calculations. So when I am good at calculations, if you want to be an engineer, everything revolves around calculations. Your chemistry is all about calculations. So I believe that
Yeah,
that is what the main reason actually why I actually go for Yayasan Tenaga Nasional.
because actually chemistry, physics, mathematics they all have like some sort of math inside, like some sort of algebra. Like
Yeah, so if you want to be an engineer, you have to make sure you really love playing with numbers lah.
you really need to bring that calculator everywhere you go, you know?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so next slide. Advice for SPM leavers. Okay, first thing, back then in high school kan, what my teacher always said is that you have to apply as much as scholarship you can. I remember I applied for uh the three scholarship. I didn't just apply for that three scholarship. I actually applied for lots, very much of scholarship. Every scholarship that have offer for foundation, I actually apply for everything. But because you know what, sometimes the ones you expect the least is the one you will get, because I didn't expect to get Yayasan Tenaga Nasional scholarship actually, but turns out this is one of the scholarship that I actually got. And you don't have to be overconfident lah during the interview session, because I know that most of students yang go for interview sessions are brilliant students. You got 9 A's, but remember that it's not just you that get 9 A's. There are all other person that came to this interview session are all brilliant students juga. So that is one thing. And I believe you don't have to be too hopeful of the scholarships. Don't expect so much, because you might get disappointed. You may be ghosted by other scholarship. I was ghosted by I think Yayasan UEM and PNB, I think, after the assessment. And don't forget to do some research, and the research is actually based on your personal qualities. Maybe choose something that you have you choose something that fits you the most, and intrigue your interest the most lah. And what my school did back then is my previous batch actually made a sharing session like we did now, but it's only for the previous batch do for us, like we SPM leavers. All the scholars actually uh promote their scholarship, like Yayasan Khazanah scholars tell us about their experience, and all other scholars. And I believe that is what you should do for SPM leavers now. Ask help from uh, more experienced scholars lah, basically, and do sharing session with your friends that also get the same interview. For my friends, there are some of my friends that actually got Yayasan Tenaga Nasional punya interview session a day before me. So I actually asked them for, oh, what question will you ask, or how was the interview session, and actually maybe there are some questions that you didn't prepare, so they can actually tell you lah. So I believe that's just all about my session. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Is there the audience I can accept like one or two questions maybe if they would like to ask about. Is that okay with you, Zafira? All right. So I also agree juga lah with the interview part, because the interviewers, people sometimes like to imagine that the interviewers, they are like the big boss people, like the big corporates want to like examine every single part of your personality. It's not like a very formal thing lah, you can say, because some
Yeah.
students memang masuk dalam je terus ingat like all the people around them are all just as serious as you. You really need to like eliminate the seriousness lah. That's how you can
Yes.
really shine as your own character lah. Betul tak?
Yes, I believe that if you think that the interviewers are just your friends, your maybe your teacher in school, then you can just say or borak macam biasa lah, borak kosong like your friends je. So they can,
Your interview mates still sambung with you? Did you still see them dekat Unit 10? Did you still meet
yes,
one?
yes, the interviewer was actually UiTM staff and lecturer in Unit 10. So I actually met them and joined programs with them now. They are really actually fun lah during the interview session.
But it's nice to know that they still, do you still like say hi to them or they
Yes,
tegur?
yes, I
Wow,
actually still say hi to them, and I believe they actually really remember me.
wow. Is it because of the running thing?
So
Look at the
I
room.
believe because of the running thing.
It's indeed funny though, the running thing, because memang tak expect, but it really shows that the interviewers really want to break the seriousness and want to
Yeah.
let you really do whatever you want. Macam tu lah. I have a question. Nani DiCaprio, sis, what batch are you?
Oh, I am 19 years old. I'm from I'm batch 2006.
Same like
06.
me lah, also 206 as well. There's one more question. I'll just take Zara Yasmin questions first. How many achievements I should have to actually be considered ada banyak achievement? That's a very good question. How
How,
many achievements are ada banyak achievement?
how many achievement? What?
It's like how many achievements that you need to have to actually be titled as
Mm,
ada banyak achievement, you know?
it really depends actually. You don't have to have like really much of achievement actually. Dia macam it really depends on um actually I believe it's a bonus point je kalau you ada banyak achievement. As for me, I banyak achievement in sports and co-curricular activities. But there are also some of my friends yang ada don't have really much achievements. So it tak kisah pun sebenarnya kalau you actually tak ada banyak achievement. But it really depends on the how you actually present yourself during the interview session je. But considered banyak achievement is depends on your certificates kot, I believe.
Because coming from DKC kan, which is a very like famous school, is very like important for all the students to have this kind of activities kan.
Yeah, and we actually back then in high school, it's also it's my own initiative lah to find competitions to join back then in high school. It's not just from the school itself. I also after SPM I also joined so much programs to gain knowledge about lots of things. And I believe that are the things yang I put as an achievement. For example, I joined volunteering programs. I joined like 3 volunteering programs.
Alright, thank you very much lah. I think your experience dekat the interviews and dekat Unit 10, it really shows that how you also need to consider what you are good at and what do you want to be. Because some people, they just want to pursue what they want to be, but you actually need to know inside, like what actually you
Yeah.
can do, what are you, the best that you are at. So, alright, thank you very much, Zafira, for the session pasal TNB Prime. I appreciate it a lot. Nanti
Thank
for the
you.
rest of the questions, nanti you can ask during the Q&A session, yeah?
Okay.
Right, thank you very much. Okay, so last but not least, we have our final scholar, who is Muhammad Nazrul Hakim, who is currently a Yayasan Khazanah Global Scholar. So fun fact, for a lot of people, Yayasan Khazanah Global is a very prestigious scholarship. Not many people achieve it. Can I ask how many people got the scholarship? Tak banyak lah kan? Like around under 50, under 40 students ke yang dapat?
The total amount of, wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. All good.
Uh, Okay, for Khazanah, we got for this year, for my year, it's 31 people.
31 people out of the hundreds
Yep.
of applicants. Wow.
Yeah. I actually have like the total, like the statistics for last year's new selection process
Hmm.
in my slides. But
Oh.
yeah, we can present it later as we
All
go
right.
on.
So she's also currently studying dekat College Yayasan UEM. So without further ado, I'll pass on the final session to Nazrul. The stage is yours.
All right. Thank you, Taufik. Okay. Hi everyone. I know it's already like 10:20 p.m. and I myself just got back. Like I literally just came back to my room, put down my laptop because I'm from Taylor's earlier. I had another workshop with Base Initiative. So now I'm here talking to you guys now. Okay.
No pressure.
But yeah.
Just a chill session, all right? Don't feel
So I think we can start now.
all right.
This
Good luck.
session for tonight is scholarships. And I know I'm a YK scholar, right? And I know what you guys want to listen to, which is what exactly does being a YK scholar means, and how exactly can you try to be one. So before we start further ado, let's know a little more about. Okay, next slide. All right. So my name is Muhammad Nazrul Hakim bin Muhammad Shafa, but you can call me Nazrul. On the slides, you can see my Instagram, my LinkedIn, so you guys can reach out to me there if you guys have any questions after this and so on and so forth. And yeah, I would say I'm just a pretty normal guy, enjoying my life for like doing my interest like watching anime and video games all day long. But yeah, because of A levels now, I'm stuck studying and grinding for mathematics and yeah, A levels in general. But other than that, I would say my interest is also about learning history and politics, and yeah, like reading random articles online, and I actually like quite find it enjoyable to learn a lot about new things about the world. And lately, and lately, in KYUM, I just started a new hobby, which is playing badminton, which I have never tried in my life before. But yeah, I like to do a lot of many things. I have a lot of interests. And for me personally, under Yayasan Khazanah, my intended course that I'm going to be pursuing for my degree studies later is philosophy, politics, and economics, which in Malaysia is not something that you would really hear about very frequently. Because, I mean, look, a lot of people like probably go overseas and wow, you guys do computer science or engineering or even mathematics. Like, even for my earlier workshops today, like, the amount of people that wants to take and pursue engineering is entirely the whole room. Like literally no one wants to take humanities. But I feel like that doesn't mean that you have to pursue engineering. You can just still continue to pursue what you want. And for me personally, I choose to do that. And that's why I'm doing philosophy, politics, and economics. And to do that, I am currently KYUEM doing A levels for 3 subjects, which is history, geography, and mathematics. And yeah, on the slides, you can see pictures of me with my friends. Like the guy in the white shirt is my history teacher. And there are like pictures of me with my friends like hanging around. But yeah, that's it about, I would suppose that's a quick enough introduction about me. But yeah, anyways, next slide. Okay, so let's get down to the details that I know you guys want to know. Now, Yayasan Khazanah, how do you apply for that? We have out of all the scholarships around, even among the biggest scholarships in Malaysia, Yayasan Khazanah, YK, have, I would say, the most thorough application process compared to the others. Like usually, for example, Bank Negara has two stages. PND has like 4 stages. Petronas have 2, and I would say the usual amount for scholarship application processes is usually around 3 to 4 stages. For Khazanah, we have 5 stages, which are the following that I'm going to present. But first, before we go on to the stages, you have to do the initial application. You have to fill in the forms that are going to open on 22nd of April this year, like 2 days before your results are coming out. So listen carefully. For your initial application, make sure that these document, like your documents that you are going to submit, because it's coming out 2 days before your results, right? You can already check out the forms, the things that you need to fill like 2 days early. So by then, do check out all the documents that they ask for, and they ask for you to provide, and sort them out, scan them, get them CTC, get them like signed and chopped by certified. Yeah, get them to be certified through copies, CTC, to in like by your principals and everything. So like first things first, the initial application, number one, you need to sort out their documents from your personal information, your family, sijil lahir, your SPM, your co-curricular activities, your certificates, everything. And then you also need to yeah, scan all of those documents, certificates, and yeah, you need to also have a copy. There is also CTC. I think this is already talked about in a lot of scholarships, in a lot of like processes. But yeah, CTC means that you need to go find someone. I think usually it's Penjaksa Damai. You can search that out. That you have to go to like to these lawyers that can, I would say, certify your certificates so that it can be certified that it is an actual certificate. And then you can baru boleh scan. Lepas tu, you can submit it into the websites, into the application forms. Other than that, like the things that you can do for initial applications, is that you also need to research about the scholarships that you are applying for. Not only for YK, but also for the rest of the other scholarships. PNB, Bank, Petronas, all of those things. You need to make sure that you are well prepared, you are well versed in the knowledge around them. Like, who exactly are these people? Who is Khazanah? What are they trying to do? What is their objectives, their visions, their missions, so on and so forth. And usually you can find it on their websites. And yeah, that's usually for the application. And after that, you have done that, your application, we go to the first stage. First stage is, wait, I'm not finished yet. Go back. Oh no, the slide is gone. Okay, there we go. The first stage, the IQ test. The IQ test and also the personality test are just, yeah, I would say it's just exams. It's just a couple of questions. But these two stages is, I would say, very detrimental to your application. Because, okay, let's take a look at the first test now. IQ test. You need to make sure that you do some practice questions online. Because what actually happened when I was applying for scholarships is that my first application was with Yayasan TM, YTM. I thought like IQ test is probably like ala takat-takat macam susun pattern, all of those things. It's probably going to be easy, right? And then I click start, and the first question was a lot of different graphs, numbers of like tens and thousands. And then I forgot that I do not have a calculator at that moment. And the time was ticking. You have around 30 minutes to answer those questions. So pretty much I flopped my first IQ test, and that's pretty much left me out of the YTM scholarship. But yeah, make sure that you do not do the same mistakes as I did. So how do you make sure that you do not make a mistake on here? Make sure that before an IQ test that are coming out, do some practice questions online. So because most scholarships use the same IQ test. If I recall, it's PNB and Khazanah, and also YTM is also using the same type of test, which is the Cubics Logics Advanced Assessment Test. And please do not undermine this test. It actually is quite hard. There's a lot of graph and things to process. And to be honest, for these, try to find them online, because a lot of them are paid. Try to find free ones or like samples. And yeah, that's for IQ test. For personality test, it's usually multiple choice questions. They are going to give you a scenario and 4 answers, A, B, C, D, and you have to pick one that you feel like the most right for you. So the thing about personality test is that you can find out your personality through MBTI. MBTI, that's Myers-Briggs Myers-Briggs personality test is something I recall. So like you see all these things like ENTP, INTJ, all of those are their MBTI personality. So if you want to know yourself first, try, you can do it online. You can just search MBTI test, and like I think the website's name is like called 16 personalities. And but the different thing about I would say scholarship personality test is that I wouldn't say saying that the quote that says there is no right answer is the right thing to do here, because scholarships, you have to make sure to remember that they are indeed looking for certain types of personalities. So in this case for YK, I cannot guarantee you that this is actually what they are looking for. What I can tell you is probably what I think they are looking for is probably someone that has leadership qualities in them. Those are the kinds of the personalities that they want. And the thing about personality tests is that not only that you have like a lot of questions to answer, but make sure that throughout your personality test you have to stay consistent for your answers, because they are going to ask you, I would say, the same questions reworded differently. So, and they will like shuffle the answers and everything to see if you read or not.
Can you give
So
us an
the
example, like how
um
they reshape
an
the
example.
questions?
Oh yeah, one question is probably like yeah, my friend is suffering, my friend is struggling with their exams. What should I do? And then A is like help them out, B refer them to a teacher, C like help them do their homework or something, and D is something else. So like you see, and then like another question like further on, like if that's question 5, go to question 15, it's going to reword it differently tau. Macam like instead of like instead of like your friend are suffering or struggling, suddenly it's you. I am like you are struggling with your
Oish.
studies. Ha.
It's like a
So
different point of view.
it may not sound similar, but the situation is quite similar. So they try to give you like the same type of answers, see if like you're going to be consistent or not. So for personality tests, make sure that what you are answering is, I would say, close to your heart, and what you are answering is consistent with the answers that you have given before. And because that's the thing, inconsistency shows that you are not confident about yourself. So make sure that before you answer every question, reread those questions.
Because I also agree, like some people answer questions according to textbook answers,
Yeah,
like they just try to follow what's deemed best, like what everyone deems best, but it's not truly how you perceive the questions. So I guess that's also quite important as well, right, Nazrul?
yeah. I would say it is very important. But for me personally, textbook answers is not necessarily the wrong one, because like the way that the personality test is shaped, it is shaped in a way that there is, I would say, no incorrect answers,
No, incorrect.
because they will it like to me personally, like all of the answers for personality test when I answered it, all of them actually felt correct. So how do you weigh, like what do you think in that scenario is the best answer? So that is how they indicate your personality,
How they
those tests.
evaluate it. All right, thank
Yep.
you, Nazrul.
So yeah. Anyways, we can go to the next slide.
Is it possible
Next.
to speed up a little bit because we are a
Okay.
little bit of time for the Q&A session? Thank you.
All right. Anyways, just going to speed this up. Like in terms of preparations, there is also essays that going to be writing. So for those types of essay, make sure that you guys do a lot of drafts. And for Yayasan Khazanah, I did like 4 or 5 different drafts and then submit like to different people asking around for help from my seniors, my teachers, and even like people on social media to see like, oh, what do you think about this essay, to allow them to comment and see where can I improve on. So make sure to draft a lot of your essays first and submit the best essay that you think you have done. But yeah, anyways, that's a quick one for essays. Next. All right. So for stage 3, you are going to have a group assessment and also a quick short interview in terms of YK. Is that there will be a case study that will be presented to your group, and they will give you a problem statement to solve. And all of this problem statement, it may be in the form of like they give you like a lot of data and then ask you to like give a report and like present a report. They want you to like resolve a situation. They want you to pitch a business idea. Like they want to like come up with they want you to come up with a decision to solve a problem, so on and so forth. And for Yayasan Khazanah, I got the question about we are like the board of directors for a company, and they give like 10 resumes and they ask us to like pick the best 5. So yeah, so that is like one example of the group
So you guys had to
assessment.
become like bosses.
Yes, you have to be like directors and bosses. We have to like read one by one of the resumes that they give us, and then like say like which one is like the most beneficial for the company. We have to discuss among us, and make sure to remember that this group assessment is time. So like you have like 15 or 20 minutes to like do all of this assessment and resolve all these situations. So it can be very hectic because you are going to be grouped with people that you don't know. That's one thing too. So the the advice that I can give is for all these types of group assessments, because like all of the big scholarships, like even by Negara, PNB, and even Khazanah, and even Petronas, they all have like different group assessments. So throughout all of them, you need to make sure to be calm and composed, be strategic and diplomatic, be proactive, and teamwork is also important. Never be too selfish. And also finally avoid being too pushy or too scared to do things. You need to find the right balance to work in your team and groups.
Can I
And
ask?
yeah,
Can I ask a question? Why is there a photo of you with a night
oh,
armor?
I'm sorry. That picture is me after the Yayasan Khazanah like stage 3 group assessment. That is like right outside the hotel. Like the hotel that we went to is Royal Chulan Hotel. Like I think it's Damansara. So like yeah, YK conducts their interviews usually for is it Zone Tengah, like I would say Klang Valley area is usually at Royal Chulan. So that's probably where you guys are going to do your group assessments too.
Hmm.
And yeah, from this stage onwards, the final reminder, be mindful of your conduct and attire when you are at those interview centers. Yeah, anyways, next slide. So the final 2 stages, the interviews. So for me personally, these interviews are conducted in groups. And yeah, they will like ask questions one by one to each interviewees, to each applicants. They're going to ask like, oh, how about you, how about you, they're going to ask the same question one by one for each of us. And I would say the most biggest tendency for them to do is that some people tend to like overspeak. So there is a lot of people like throughout all my interviews that are getting cut off very frequently throughout their interview. So make sure that you don't overspeak yourself. And to be honest, for interviews, just make sure to follow general tips for interviews. You can find guides on YouTube and everything. And also, you need to show off your personality and traits that you have, preferably the ones that the scholarship want. And finally, and not finally, like say next, do mention your achievements to support the personalities that you are trying to bring into the room. And never just say that you don't know an answer or that you don't care about something. Try to answer the question based on your understanding, because scholarship interview questions can be very very weird in some cases. Like I still remember there's this one question in PNB that they asked me like, oh, in 20 years, where do I see AI being utilized in society, something like that, for PNB. And like it's actually very it's very scary, because I'm not someone that is in IT or in computer science like to answer like weird AI questions like programming. So there's that. Make sure that you don't try not to say you don't know about something, but try to answer to the best of your ability based on your understanding of the issue. And then because that's the thing, like the scholarship interviewers know you are not like some PhD researchers and everything. They know you just like post SPM graduates. So they just want to test like how you handle the situation too. So it's not necessarily you have to give the right answer. Just make sure to be calm and composed and answer those questions to the best of your ability. And then do remember that the interviewers would also have your transcript. And I would say this is actually true for a lot of other scholarship interviews too, because like when you fill in the forms for your applications, they will actually print that out and give it to the interviewers. So like in that room, like for physical interviews, in the room with your interviewers, they will have like stuff, a binded paper or a stapled paper of like your resumes and everything, your biodata, all of those things. They will have it, and they will probably, if you don't mention it, they will ask about the things that you put in your application forms. So make sure you are prepared to defend yourself and whatever you put in that form. So like things macam probably like even like families, they will probably ask like families, your courses, kenapa ambil course ni? Kenapa you want Khazanah specifically? Kenapa you want like to go to KY? Why do you want to go to like this specific university? Kenapa you do, for example, you do debate, for example. Why do you like drawing? Why do you like to do this and that? So be prepared to defend yourself and give answers to those questions too. Try to make sure you are composed and calm throughout all of those sessions. And finally, do remember that for me personally, because the sessions are conducted in groups, the interviews are very, very short. You have like, I would say 3 times to speak, and then that's it. It's just no longer time to speak. And like the session ends afterwards. So make sure that you guys are also prepared for that. Yeah, anyways, next slide.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're just a little bit more time. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah, I think we're already ending here. So for me personally, here's my final stages. And next slide, here's the scholarships that I got accepted to. And in the end, next slide, I chose Yayasan Khazanah. So yeah, you may wonder why. Next slide. And to be honest, I think I can screenshot this. But yeah, after I got accepted to YK, they put me into KY. You have to do A levels. And like, I think for the statistics and the selection process down there, like from 3,000 to 31 people, it should be in their website. So you can refer that. But Yayasan Khazanah is very rigorous. And next, and yeah, these are also the benefits. And for this one, I cannot really get deep into it because I'm not sure if like talking the specifics is confidential or not. So I tend to avoid that. But the usual stuff for Yayasan Khazanah is that you have an allowance. And I think for YK, our allowance is a lot more than the majority of scholars there. We are one of the top allowances. But that may change sometime in the future. And Yayasan Khazanah, I would say, is pretty lenient, like on the course that you like to pick, and universities. Instead of like 5 universities in the UK, you can pick in the total of like the top 50 of universities worldwide.
Do you have
So,
a
that's also
plan
there.
on where to go after this?
Yeah. The plan is I'm applying to the US. Sadly, I
The
thought that
US.
was originally is what I thought a good plan. But
Mm,
now looking
the
at the
current
current situation at the
situations,
US,
it's a little bit questionable.
it's very questionable because there is the fear that right after I landed, I might get deported back to
You're not
Malaysia.
going to get deported. You're just studying there. Like our country, Malaysia, isn't really involved with bad things with the US, though.
I mean, we'll see how. It can get pretty extreme and radical over there. So
Hopefully, it
it's
won't
very,
be.
yeah, it's very extreme. But don't let it fear you
Betul.
because situations may change. These
Yeah.
scholarship bodies, we can try to protect you and your studies overseas. Usually they have a backup plan, so you don't need to worry about it.
Of course. Do you have a specific university you plan to go? Maybe in Boston,
my
Massachusetts?
my plan is back then is probably Harvard, But right now, I'm thinking of going somewhere in the West Coast, probably UCLA, University of California, Los Angeles, somewhere around there.
You
So
see,
yeah,
they
that's
have a
that.
lot of campuses, right? Is there a specific
Mhm.
choice why UCLA? Is it because of Los Angeles, the city?
Okay. For me, we have three options. We have, I mean, a lot of options, lah. But the main option is probably UC Berkeley, UCLA, and UC San Diego. I don't want to go to UC San Diego because there's no winter there. Like the climate is the same with Malaysia, so maybe not there. Berkeley is probably a bit hard, and I don't think I'll be liking San Francisco. So I decided to go to LA because yeah, I mean LA sounds pretty fun for me, like
Yeah, it's
Hollywood
LA,
and everything.
the entertainment capital, you know? There's a lot of things to
Yes,
do over there.
yep, exactly. And yeah, after the studies later, you can serve your bond with Khazanah. And I mean, per and also for Khazanah, not only that your bond is limited to Khazanah, you can also serve your bonds like usually around 5 to 6 years in subsidiaries of Khazanah. And Khazanah has a lot of subsidiaries. Like for example, PNB serve one dekat PNB je. Bank serve one dekat bank. Petronas dekat Petronas. But for Khazanah, not only you can go to Khazanah Nasional, you can go to Maybank, uh you can go to like a lot of other I don't remember specifically the list because there's like a lot of different companies. But the ones that I remember is probably Maybank. And then also I don't know lah why, but there's also Farm Fresh.
Farm
So like
Fresh.
Farm Fresh the milk.
Yeah, the milk company.
Yeah,
For
the milk company. I don't know why, but Farm Fresh is also a subsidiary of Khazanah. So if you want to like I don't know pursue agriculture and like milk production, there's also an option for
there's an
that
option for
apparently.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, Khazanah is pretty weird sometimes. But yeah, there's that. And yeah, the requirement for us to maintain our bond, our scholarship is just 3 A's for A levels, which might seem easy, but it's actually quite challenging. But yeah, anyways, next slide. Yeah, in conclusion, with all these tips, I just want to say that you should never give up and you should always try your best to get something that you want. Even though things don't go your way right now, maybe you get na'uzubillah, you don't get the good results for SPM that you wish for. There is always a way for you to move forward in life to get what you want. If you want to be an economist, but you cannot go to like get a scholarship to go to LSE or something, doesn't necessarily that means it's just bad luck for you. Probably God has plans somewhere else for you. So keep exploring, keep seeking your desires, and never let your fear of the unknown conquers you because it might help you in life if not for scholarship. And I would say, yeah, that's all from me. So feel free to contact me on my socials that I gave earlier if you want help with anything. I'll try my best to help. But yeah,
Alright,
that's it.
thank you. Is it okay if I ask one last question? Is that okay?
Yeah, go on.
If you could give maybe just one sentence or a piece of advice to your SPM self when applying all these major scholarships, if you can just tell him, what would it be?
I would say in one sentence.
If
Mm,
like in very, very hard hitting sentence, you know?
mm, I cannot think of something like very hard hitting
It's okay.
hitting word.
Just any
But
sentence.
what I would say is never be lazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's what I got. Because like throughout the application process, it's very rigorous. Like I applied for Shell, and because like it asked me to like submit a resume, and I'm too lazy to do that. I just like that throw away one of like my potential scholarships. So like in any forms of like applications, even for like your universities and your job application later on in your life, or even for scholarship right now, never be lazy to do all of those things. So yeah, there's that.
You guys heard from him. Never be lazy. It's a very hard reality sentence, but if you want to pursue something, never be lazy. All right. Thank you very much, Nazrul. I appreciate the presentation coming from you, and I hope you are feeling. I hope you get a good rest tonight, of course, because of the base initiative program that you did baru je tadi. We really appreciate you coming. On behalf of KERIS, we appreciate you coming in support of the part as well. Right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
One more thing.
Yeah.
If you guys need like very thorough, like detailed information about scholarships, you guys can also check out like Base Initiative's website and Instagram. They
promote this
also detail a lot of
initiative.
things. Maaf, promote scholarship organization lain eh. Yeah. So like this initiative does help a lot with all of the scholarship programs. So if you want to learn like a lot of in-depth information, you can refer to their Instagram and website. Yeah, that's all from me.
Okay, thank you very much from Nazrul. We all appreciate it, and you guys heard it. If you wanna follow this initiative, they're also a similar organization like us who likes to promote scholarship as well. Not promoting them anything, but I'm just letting you guys know. All right. Okay, so our all four speakers have officially presented their topics. Now we really appreciate all of them because your honesty and tips are all good. Now it's time for the Q&A session. I will try my best to answer all the questions, but if they're too much, I apologize lah. So feel free to ask any questions about applications, interviews, documents, or anything else you're curious about. I myself is a YTP Mara scholar, so you can also ask any YTP Mara questions or just general scholarship questions about me, but make sure you put the name of the person in the, if you want to direct the speaker, so it will be easier for the speaker to know like who you're asking these questions to. All right. So, banyak juga yang soalan. Oh, is it okay if I start from this question? I got Arif Hakimi, our yesterday's moderator. I got a general question for the speakers. If you guys can't fail in anything that you do, work, study, general goals, what will you choose to do in your life? Something that you can't fail. Work, study, or goals. So any of the speakers, one speaker would like to answer? Any of the speakers are still here? Iman, Nazrul, to share any opinions ke about?
Yeah, I can try to answer if no one
Yeah,
is gonna
thank you very much.
Question is, okay, here you go. If you guys can feel anything you do in life, work, study, general, what would you choose to do in your life? I mean, personally, I'm quite a lazy guy. So like, if I can't fail in something, then I'm thinking that probably I would try to solve education inequality. I mean, that's one of the big issues in a lot of the world right now. But I mean, that's a very ambitious goal. But if you want to ask me personally, I mean, if not about like advocacy and everything, I just want to do anything with my life. I think I would just like do my own stuff and yeah, do my hobbies all day long without a worry in life. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, back to topic.
All right, thank you very much. Sorry, I had to leave for a second. All right. So moving on to the further questions. Sorry if my camera is not working sekarang ni. Where would the usual interview questions be for born new students? Honestly, in my opinion, kalau for YTP Mara lah, coming from a YTP Mara punya scholar, I believe that they would usually do it dekat specific places. Like for YTP Mara, there's like zone selatan, zone utara, and ada zone timur tengah pula, pantai timur. So there's like certain places lah they will do the interview. It depends on where the email will tell you lah. I see there's a question for Iman in the chat.
Yeah, I'd like to answer prior questions first. I know Danny and Zazrael. So, question from Iman.
Your mic is a bit
Uh,
like laggy sikit. Is it okay if your mic can
Sorry. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So yeah, sure, I am able to answer the questions, but first I would like to address the prior questions as asked by Aino, Dani, and Intan right now. Okay, so Aino's questions. I am curious on how many scholars do BNM accept every year since there are so many assessments. So into the final stage of the assessment, which is the one at Sasana Kijang, there will be up to 150 final stage applicants to be honest, which is quite a lot. And the bank, I believe that the bank has informed us scholars that um, the maximum amount of scholars that they're willing to accept every year is 40. This year, Bank Negara offers the scholarship to 32 successful applicants, and 26 of them accepted the scholarship. So I believe that answers your question. So second, Danny, for the essay, do you write it by yourself or do you use a little touch of ChatGPT? Hmm,
Memang students these
I
days memang put like ChatGPT for help, you know.
for me lah, I drafted the essays over the span of few days because I have to do a lot of essays for different scholarship as well because I applied for PNB, YK, you know. And I would say that I drafted it by myself, structured it in a way that helped clarity and makes it easier for the assessors to read through. But in the end, I did use a little touch of ChatGPT, but that's just to check for grammatical errors and to refine what could be shortened and structured and rearranged better in my essay. Also, I asked for proofreading from my teachers and some other scholarship initiatives as well that allowed me to like submit their essays for them to proofread. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you very much, Iman. Would you like to answer? Yeah, let me try to answer this question first. This is for Zafira. Yeah, Zafira, are you still here?
Yes.
So Ahmad Hasib asks, is it true that you can confirm bond with TNB if you get the Yayasan Tenaga Nasional, or you need to pass certain CGPA, or are there more tests for it? I think that's what you mean.
Can you repeat the question?
Okay, sorry. Is it true that you can confirm a bond with TNB if you got the scholarship? Or do you need to pass a certain CGPA? So that means if you need a requirement to bond with Yayasan, with TNB, or you just work dekat TNB? I think that's what you mean.
After you have finished your studies, kalau for now memang in the bond punya contract memang dah ada lah 7 years of you will be working for TMB, but after you finish studies they will offer you work. If they offer you work, then you have to go for working for TMB lah. Macam tu je basically the procedure.
Alright, thank you very much, Zafira. So next question from Farah, nak tanya, adakah semua scholarships kena fill in after SPM result? I think yes, actually, because waktu the SPM result keluar, baru all the scholarships, they will like promote on their social medias, on the Telegram channels, and all of that. So make sure you immediately check the scholarship requirements lah after you get your SPM. Don't waste any time lah, as you would say. For Nazrul, is it common for a potential scholar to get more than one scholarship? What's the highest number you've seen someone get? I believe Nazrul just showed in the slide that he took, and he got like 3 scholarships, I believe. Yayasan, Khazanah, JPA, and one more. What's it called? Sorry.
Yayasan Daya Diri.
And
And I mean, I'm not sure if it's common or not, but there are some people that have like a lot of scholarships that they got accepted to, or there's like people that only got one specific scholarship. Like I have friends, like even in just YK, people that got like 4 different offers, and then there's also like people that only got Yayasan Khazanah. Like they applied for 8, got even like rejected for Petronas and everything, and out of those 8 they only got accepted for Khazanah. There's also those types of people. So yeah, I think the highest number that I've seen someone get, I think is probably 6 or something.
Wow, 6 scholarships. Wow, that person must have done a lot. All right. So is it okay if there's one more question for you, Nazrul?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Is it really hard to get into Ivy League as the percentage of acceptance to the institutions are very low? I also have that question, to be honest.
Okay. For Ivy Leagues, to my knowledge, the percentage are actually very, very high. And to be honest, like even for people in KY, not many got into Ivy Leagues. Because like, okay, let's use the example like Princeton or Harvard. Usually for KY, like every year there's only like 1, 2, 3 people per year per batch. And then like even for Harvard in Harvard University, for example, Malaysia does not have like a lot of people going there. Like have Harvard alumni in Malaysia is probably like from like 20, 30 people only. Or like something along the range of that. It's not even like up to 100. So Ivy Leagues is actually very high. But the thing about scholarship is that we also still have like how is it? We still have backups. So like you will be applying for 6 universities. So usually the modus operandi is like, oh, you're applying to 3 Ivy Leagues and then 3 safe universities. So there's that.
Oh, so I understand what you mean lah when you say backup plan, because it's not guaranteed if you could get into an Ivy League university. So there are still some universities that you can go lah. Is that true?
Yeah.
All right.
Usually that's the case.
Okay, thank you very much. Next question for Zafira. Does Yayasan Tenaga Nasional also provide overseas scholarships?
Yes. There are overseas scholarships also for our prime program, tapi for overseas program. Tapi ada lagi banyak course lah yang they offer. Bukan for macam local programs kan ada 3. Only 3 programs. Tapi for scholarship, I believe ada 5 course kot yang dia offer.
The requirements dia are more higher and the interview process dia pun sama jika, or is it more rigorous?
More vigorous actually. Kalau for the overseas program, there are 2 sessions of ada 2 stage of the interview session, and the requirements are actually a little bit higher than the local program.
All right. Thank you very much, Zafira. By the way, if you guys have any questions that you message tadi tu, can you like repeat the questions yang the audience? Or if you want to personally talk with the scholars, if your microphone full, feel free, we won't bite. Okay. So for all scholarships, do we need to pay back if we stop studying in the middle or we fail in exams? Okay, so as a YTP Mara student, in my opinion, yes, Mara has a history of pulling students out from the bonds or for the scholarships or the convertible loans, sebab they don't really meet the requirement. For example, for me, to study in China, Beijing Jiao Tong University, you need a 3.0 CGPA for your first 2 years of a degree, I think. So it's important for some scholars. I believe Yayasan off topic, but Yayasan Terengganu, because my friends also TKC from Yayasan Terengganu, she also need to lepas a 3.75 CGPA just to sambung. So it depends on which scholarship that you get. Sebab I believe the more prestigious the scholarship, the more CGPA yang kena maintain. If we fail or exams ke apa, memang I think for Mara, you need to pay back the loans lah and stuff. So okay. Next question is also another one for Zafira. So what did you search about electrical engineering before you decide to pursue it? And is it hard to study electrical engineering? That's a very good question. I also like to know as well.
Okay. What did I search for electrical engineering? I actually search about the work scope lah. For an engineer, what does they do kan? Sebab for electrical engineering, I know I actually asked one of my uncle, which is back then dia pun YTN scholar juga, and he's an electrical engineer now, and I asked from him what did actually an electrical engineer do, what are the work scopes, and other than that, I also go to university punya websites and I search for the syllabus sebab I nak tengok what they actually learn. Tu je lah, dari situ lah I actually know yang in engineering everything includes calculations. And I also ada research about how power plant works and stuff lah, things TNB do. And is it hard to study electrical engineering? If for me, I believe it's not really hard actually. Sebab for
Really?
it's hard actually, tapi it's bearable. Dia macam because you have carry marks and you ada exam. 50% is carry mark, 50% is exam. So if it's 100% exam, then I believe it's gonna be a little bit hard. Tapi if you already score for your carry mark, let's say you get 40%, then you have only you need to get only 40 marks for your finals, which is sikit and it's not really hard lah. And then you can secure an A dah. Maybe to pass is really easy, I would say. Tapi to get an A, maybe you need to put some effort lah.
Of course lah, because engineering pun it's actually quite hard juga lah kan, coming from
Yeah, tapi I
engineering.
believe that kalau you nak engineering, you just kena understand a lot lah
Mm-mm.
and do exercises.
Tapi if you don't understand tu memang is very like you shouldn't do that. You memang
Right.
kena study sampai you faham.
Yes.
Alright, thank you very much, Zafira. Sorry. So next question, what should we include in the essay? I'm assuming for the scholarship essay. Maybe Iman can answer that. Is that okay, Iman? Are you still there?
Yes. What's this question?
Okay.
Sorry.
What should we include in your scholarship essay? Maybe you can say like the little tips and tricks lah.
It really depends on the topic, to be honest. But most of them will, I would say, like a common recurring theme for scholarship essays is that some of them at least will ask about your personal experiences that have shaped like a significant part of your personality. And I would say that in order to be able to enhance your essays, you should be able to like recall your past experiences, like say competitions, usually competitions lah, or at least volunteering ability, and see what values can you take from it and put in your essay. Because I would say that the assessors for your essays generally like that lah. But as for them say themselves, like mine wasn't like decorated with like crazy good grammar or whatever kind. It's just good, solid, and profound enough so that I get accepted into the online assessment stage. Because to be honest, as long as you write a good and comprehensive essay, just like how you did in school and SPM, I believe that the chances of you getting into the next stage is pretty high.
Alright. So is that all from you? Alright.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, thank you very much. So maybe one of the speakers can answer this. Does any speakers have tips to speak English confidently? Sebab I assume that a lot of scholarships these days memang nak answer in English lah kan? So would anyone like to answer the question?
Sure, I can answer that.
Thank you, Iman.
I would say to speak English confidently, just take your time, like how I'm doing right now. Like pronounce every word clearly and confidently so that you are able to convey your ideas clearly to the interviewers, and I would say remove starters lah. Like uh 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 like interviewers generally they don't like that because it shows that you're unconfident and hesitant in your answer. Also, I would say just have a good knowledge in English grammar quickly.
Yeah, having good knowledge for English pun penting juga. But honestly, if it's another tips lah to speak English confidently, jangan like terlalu lama like tergagap-gagap to speak English tau. Because
Yes.
because it will actually affect the way of communication, and then the people might see that you don't really answer it that well. Alright. So yeah. So there's a question for me, and I can take the last three questions if one of you guys can answer lah. Okay. So first question for me, ambil program apa dekat Beijing? Okay, so basically, I am a YTP Mara scholar, as I said. I'm taking engineering dekat University Malaysia Pahang Sultan Abdullah. And it's actually one of the choices for YTP Mara program to someone overseas, similar like Adriana. Is Adriana still there, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah, so kalau Adriana, she sambung in Seoul, South Korea. And then kalau for me, I'm also under YTP Mara, sambung dekat Beijing. So actually, UMPSA is doing a dual degree program. So it means that in the span of 4 years, you need to complete 2 years in Pahang, in Pekan lah, and 2 years in Beijing Jiao Tong University. Beijing Jiao Tong University stands for vehicle, like kenderaan, you know, the cars. It's not actually cars lah, it's actually trains. Sebab I'm gonna learn more about like high speed rail trains and stuff. Sebab nanti my program, nanti most of us will kerja dekat the ECRL. If you guys duduk Pantai Timur, you guys pernah dengar lah the ECRL. So there is a chance I might work there. But tengoklah macam mana. Maybe I will stay in KL, kerja kat Rapid KL ke. But that's my hopes so far lah. Okay. So yes, did someone raise their hand?
Hello, can I ask Luffy?
Yes, you can ask.
I want to ask you, you are YTP scholars, and is it when you get choose, is it based on your result SPM or your performance in interview? And if I want to take YTP scholars for local, did I need to go interview, or if not, how they would choose me when I apply it?
Okay, thank you very much, Ahmad Azib. So from what I understand from your question, macam mana nak cakap Sekejap, boleh repeat soalan tak bahasa Melayu tak? Sorry je. Sebab macam a bit panjang juga soalan dia.
First,
Ah.
macam mana dia pilih awak
Oh,
bila
pilih.
awak apply YTP ni? Based
Okay.
on SPM result or performance masa interview tu?
Oh,
Second
faham.
question,
Mm-mm.
kalau saya ambil local kan, kan tak ada interview, so macam mana dia pilih tu?
Okay.
Macam based on my performance at school or macam tu lah.
Okay, faham. Okay, thank you. So basically, kalau for YTP Mara, they will see both lah. So first you need to go through the interview at the psychometric test. And later Adriana pun ada explain tadi tu, you need to go to a psychometric test, put in your SPM results, fill in everything. And then kalau laki, if you go for overseas, baru je kena interview. Macam me and Adriana, we both kena interview dekat KKTM, if you guys pernah dengar KKTM. So kalau for overseas scholarship je yang kena interview, because they want to hantar orang ke luar negara tu, they need to like really make sure that this person has a good personality that can go overseas and stuff like that. Kalau for local tu, I think you just need to tunggu je lah, just need to wait. Sebab there is no interview process, you just need to mohon with your SPM results, markah koko memang kena key in, and jawab the psychometric test, and then itu je lah, just wait for the YTP result to come out. Sebab ada je some of my friends yang dapat YTP, my batch like pergi College Mara, Kulim, or Uni KL Doctor. So I hope that answer your question lah. Okay? Alright.
Okay, thank you.
Kalau korang nak open your mic, it's also better lah. So you can furthermore directly ask the people, yeah. Okay. So I think there's 3 more questions I can answer before we end sebab actually dah lambat dah. Are there any scholarship for students that choose language courses and how to apply if I want to be a language teacher abroad? Maybe Adriana boleh jawab soalan ni? Is that okay with you? Adriana, are you still there?
Yes. Okay.
Ah.
I will just answer it for Korea. Okay, so for Korea, I think there is like a, a scholarship which is Global Korea Scholarship (GKS). But if you want to like further know further about the scholarship, you can also like check it out in internet. And also I want to share like an Instagram that you can like made a research. I will put it in the comment.
Okay, thank you very
So I
much.
think that's all.
Okay, thank you very much, Adriana. Okay, so this one questions: are there any tips to enhance your general knowledge and up to date on current issues? Maybe Nazrul can answer this question. Is that okay? Sebab I think you know a lot, saying that your interest is about learning history and you're gonna study like bunch of economic politics stuff. I think is if I'm not mistaken. So you can answer the question. Is that okay with you?
The question is tips to enhance your general knowledge and up to date on current issues. Is it?
Yes, that question. Yeah.
Okay. In terms of general knowledge, I would say the best, the usual stuff is probably like take 5-6 minutes, like every morning, like maybe while you are eating your breakfast or anything, go on YouTube, go to like a news or journalist punya channel. Like usually like the ones that I like is probably like American based, like Vox or like New York Times and all those things. Like yeah, watch a video or like watch a short video on there. And if you don't want to watch a video, read an article instead. Like, yeah, same journalist websites and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So over time, it builds up. And from there, you start to know a lot of different things. Tapi kalau if you expect like 1 week nak kena grind semua benda tu in terms of general issue, tak boleh lah. It's not like learning history lah. It's like something that just, I would say, builds up over time.
Yeah, I also agree. Sebab I also like to watch some geography channels and history channels waktu I was like sekolah menengah, like like Oversimplified and Real Life Law. I don't know if you know all these channels lah, but
Yeah.
there's also, you know,
Those are very good channels.
very good channels, right?
Oversimplified is like very much on history, and then if you like science, there's like also Kuzgazat. Kuzgazat is very good.
Kuzgazat is also very good. So if you
Yeah.
want to know more about information better, you can just look on YouTube. Sebab there are a lot of YouTubers that like to share all these kind of stuff, and they make so many like interesting like videos that can attract the viewer with very like graphics and stuff. Kalau my favorite channel is like called Wonder Why. I don't know if you also heard about it, but I have connections with him. I've talked to him before, but yeah. All right. So I think I can answer the final question. For Iman, is that okay with you, Iman? Before I finish up this,
Yes.
it's also about essay. Should I prepare for scholarship essay in advance before SP result? For me, the answer is yes lah. Can for this question. Should I prepare for scholarship essay?
I would say yes, because like I say before, the scholarship essay, they tend to have a recurring focus towards things that are related to your personal experiences and values. So while I wouldn't really say specify on anything just yet, because the applications, most of them are not even out yet, I would say just try to recall the experiences that you've had and the things that you've learned from it, and just how that experience can possibly be something that's useful for uh who you are, something that's responsible for the values that you've developed and the person that you are today.
Okay. I agree with that a lot lah. So, but after SPM, we like there's a lot of procrastinating, a lot of lazying around. So ada kemungkinan we like forget about our like knowledge and stuff. So it's never wrong to actually like prepare and update on your English knowledge and essay writing stuff so that you get apply for more scholarships. But thank you, Iman. I really appreciate it. So I think
Welcome.
those are all the questions. I'm sorry if there are no questions asked. Maybe some of you guys can drop your IG in the comments, like the speakers, so then all the audience can follow. Like just type up your IG lah, just for them to contact you. All right. So I think that's the end of the first part of the third session. The second part will be conducted tomorrow, not by me, but by a different moderator. So make sure you guys go there tomorrow lah. I hope you guys got a clearer idea on how you managed to get the scholarship. Sorry tak agak a bit lama sikit because we have a lot of questions, which is good to know that the next batch release is really intrigued to know more about scholarships. So before I end, I would like to give you guys an advice lah. Don't be so, as a YTP scholar myself, when I first came to UMPSA, most of the scholars here, they're like, oh, these prestigious schools, prestigious like results lah, prestigious achievements and results, right? And this, it kind of like intimidated me a little bit or made me feel like I'm small. Because fun fact, I'm actually from a normal school. I'm from a normal SMK. SMK Taman Daya, Johor Bahru. So if you guys ada lah. So dekat sana, I was just like live a normal school life, student life and stuff. So when I first came here, I was like really intimidated by them juga lah. But I just want to let you guys know that don't let other people's like names, ranks or titles or results or achievements bother you. Because in the end, it's you that needs to prove yourself, to build up yourself and get those better results, get those better achievements. So bila nanti you belajar dekat, doesn't matter if Asasi or Matrix or anywhere, don't be intimidated by other people. And as they say, comparison is the killer of joy. So make sure you guys put that in your heart and follow with what you truly believe in. All right. So thank you very much for the scholars. You can, most importantly, make sure you guys have a passion, preparation, and perseverance. All right. You guys can follow us on Instagram for more updates and resources. But before we end, is it okay if you guys open your cameras? Maybe the audience and the speakers can open their cameras if they have a little photo session before we end the thing. Hello speakers, Iman, can you, kalau the audience pun nak open your camera pun boleh juga. Don't be shy, alright? So ni nanti publicity will ambil gambar ya. Alright. So right, posing, right, cheese. Alright, one more time. Okay, I think that's our session done. Thank you so much for all the people that come here. I really appreciate you taking the time to know more about scholarships. And I wish all the best for your SPM result which is coming next week. Memang gelabah juga semua orang nak tahu your results. But don't be shy. Whatever you get, I believe that you'll get a good result and I hope you're satisfied with it. So thank you all very much for the talk and I'll see you guys again. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye everybody.